So I found that in meditation, if I stop speaking so much, I don't use reason anymore. I don't judge the feelings I'm trying to give myself. Because when we feel something inside ourselves and we start talking so much, we start using the voice of reason, we will come up with reasons as to why we don't deserve something and as to why we do. But it's really just ourselves creating these reasons. And when you give yourself a feeling and you start to judge it or critique yourself, you're not really accepting it, are you? And I found that total acceptance of something within oneself, that change, shortens the time frame in the external for it to change. So total acceptance is really what quickens this. It's what makes it faster. So the secret is to have a total change inside and leave the external alone. That's the secret that I found from Neville's work and from just testing it myself. So when you go to feel something, do not judge it. Don't speak so much. Just simply feel it to your depths and to its heights. And it's a term that I've used, I coined to myself, is feel beyond reason. It's something I always tell myself, to feel beyond reason. And there was this question that was asked to Neville in one of his lectures that said, suppose you have an objective and you know the principle, but you have some doubt whether or not the objective would be good for you. How do you deal with that? This is a very common question that's been asked even today, several times, actually multiple times a day. It's asked. How do I know? I'd say I do know the law, but how do I know it's good for me? This is what Neville said. He said, if you have any doubt concerning the objective, go beyond it and actually feel that you made the wisest decision in the world. Go beyond it in time and reflect upon it as though it has worked out beautifully, and it could not have been a wiser decision than that which now has come to pass. Go beyond it. And you will know after the experience and upon reflection that it was the wisest decision you could have ever made. And maybe the rational mind could have never made such a decision. So the rational mind could have never made such a decision. That's what Neville's telling us. And when you try to use your rational mind to figure out the means, you're going to mess the whole thing up. So Neville says, go beyond it. Go beyond the problem and feel that you've made the wisest decision. Feel beyond the reason. Feel beyond the rational. And when you do that, you'll find that a thought does not need anything on the outside to be believed in. And I'm going to repeat that. A thought does not need anything on the outside to be believed in. And when you dwell upon this and you practice it, you'll become far more free inside yourself. You'll become actually freed inside yourself. A huge weight will be lifted off. And the feeling that Neville would always push us to feel is that things are the way that I would like them to be. Because we're in the world of things desirable and things undesirable. But feel that things are the way you would like them to be. And I emphasize the you there because, when I was a child, I would be so envious of other people's lives. And I would look to them and I would wish I could switch places with them. I almost wanted to remove myself and just be them instead, because I really did not like my life. But once I saw that it's about how we are inside of ourselves and not externally, because regardless what you have in the external, it doesn't necessarily mean you feel happy inside. Once I saw that it's the inner work, the inner world, that I can make the things inside myself as I would like them to be, well, then I didn't want to switch places with anybody. And for a long time, I tried to control the world and control myself, control my behaviors, control everything instead of feeling. I had to learn to let Esau go, as I would say. And Esau is the outer man. Esau always wants a new king. Esau always wants a new guide and a new God. And Esau is always trying to find merit with God. But I had to learn to let go of Esau and forget him. That the Bible tells me that I'm on holy ground right now. That I'm the temple. I don't need to go anywhere. I'm on holy ground as I walk. So when you let Esau go and you no longer feel like you have to control him, and by no effort of your own, you feel inside. You don't pressure yourself to feel. You don't hound yourself down to feel. You allow yourself to feel beyond your reason. And not that long ago, I was at the grocery store and I had a jacket on that I haven't worn in a year. And I felt something in my chest pocket. So I went to grab it and I pulled out a piece of paper. And I wrote something down maybe a year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago. And I realized that this thing that I wrote down came to pass maybe a few months ago. And I totally forgot about it. So I'm being listened to and I'm being heard. And, it was a story when I was a kid. I was at this daycare And I found this metal action figure. And I loved that it was metal. I loved how heavy it was, and I wanted it. And I looked around and I saw the room and I saw everybody was busy. And I felt the urge to steal it. And I stole it, took it, put it right in my pocket. And I thought, well, nobody's watching. No one's going to get me in trouble. Like, nobody saw it, so what does it matter? And I think I was trying to teach myself a lesson. And when I got home, I thought nothing of it. And I found myself being questioned all of a sudden by my parents about this and where I got this. And I had to admit that I stole it. And even when I really thought that I wasn't going to get caught, but I saw myself steal it. The being in me saw me choose to steal. I think it's funny now, but at the time it was quite scary that I chose that. But, I don't condemn myself for that. I found myself in a state that I picked. But I was being watched. I was being listened to inside myself. And just like the paper inside my chest pocket, it was listened to as well a year and a half ago. So we truly do create our own heaven and our own hells in our own bosoms, inside ourselves. We truly do. But when you learn the art of being able to go beyond your reason, to be able to feel beyond it, then you really can start a new heaven inside now. The time is now to do it. And I'm glad that I wrote down what I wrote down a year and a half ago. It was a wise investment. It aided me now. And I hope to choose wiser investments now. So I feel that I chose wise thoughts. I feel that inside myself, things are the way I would like them to be. Regardless of Esau, regardless of the outside. The world of Caesar, or Caesar has no power inside of you. So I truly don't care what states you occupied in your past. It doesn't really matter what you're going to occupy in your future. It's about what you occupy right now. It's about what am I imagining right now. If imagining creates reality, then what am I imagining? Am I imagining that things are the way I would like them to be? Or am I imagining that things are undesirable for me? Am I imagining myself in deep desire? Am I in a hell inside myself? Am I really finding myself parched and wanting water? Or do I find myself in abundance? And we choose these things inside ourselves. And I know that it can be difficult when you have all these habits that have been created. But what imagination created can be uncreated. Truly believe that what was created can be undone inside myself. So let this video be a push to push you to feel beyond your reason. This is how you're going to grow inside imagination. You don't use external effort. It doesn't need it. So regardless of the things of the world, feel your brilliance. Feel that you're wonderful. Feel that you're intelligent. Feel that you're bright. Feel that you're wealthier. Feel it. It's there. It's always been there.